All right, guys. Hello. This is Antoine, and this is the Antoine Anonymous, a live stream about drug addiction and recovery. Kind of like a support live stream for that type of stuff. Mental health is included, obviously, and any can help with any problems you can have. Only by sharing my own experience, though. Obviously, that's all I can do. I can't give any advice, and you know, can only how can I say this? I can't. I'm not saying I have the right way, but whatever I did worked for me, so I can at least share that. Get it? And if you guys want to share anything in the chat, get stuff off your chest, you can. It's this is why I'm doing this to help people and maybe have people helping each other in the chat. All right. Well, today um, I got a nice reading. It's a short one because I got to help the baby with the bath, so it won't be a too long of a live stream. But we can start with the Serenity Prayer. Victor Andrade, hello brother, hello Catherine. This is the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There you go. Good, good prayer. So yeah, how you guys doing? Good? We got 2 viewers right now. We're gonna start this. At least one person or two is listening. That's perfect. 4 viewers now. All right, let's see. Boom, here's the reading. So this is the reading. It's from the Just for Today meditations in the 12 steps of NA. It's a little book that every day there's a different reading. And then from that reading, you can get inspired to think about your own journey and your own recovery, and also things that you can relate with. You can talk about it. It's made to reflect, and it's also made to share amongst other people what you think, right? So I'm sure you guys are hearing that. Well, mommy is doing mommy duties. Can't control that. 70 prayers in play. So December 10, it's a little text called Winners. I started to imitate some of the things the winners were doing. I got caught up in NA. I felt good. Well, that's a good thing to do, right? If somebody has an attitude that you like, something that's that you really look up to, well, it's okay to imitate that, right? I think all of us start imitating early on things we like. Like the reason why I started bodybuilding, for example, is that I was looking at all these guys with the superb physiques and I wanted to be like that. So I was imitating what they were doing to get there. Well, this is also valid for mental health, drug addiction, and recovery, all that stuff, right? I remember when I met my friend, Aaron, shout out to Aaron, my sponsor. When I first met him in 2015, he was already clean for a few years, and I wasn't. And he had this serenity around him, and I was like, man, I want what he has. But to do so, I had to be more like act more like him, imitate what he did, right? So it's a good little nugget of advice within the thing that I think is good for me, at least, is that if there's winners around, well, what are they doing? Maybe start acting like them. We often hear it said in the meetings that we would stick with the winners. Who are the winners in Narcotics Anonymous? Winners are easily identified. They work an active program of recovery, living in the solution and staying out of the problem. So that's good. I like that. Living in the solution and staying out of the problem. Sometimes we put ourselves in I put myself in problematic situations. It's kind of hard to be a winner if you're in a toxic relationship, for example. It's going to be very hard. It's hard to live in a solution where, when it's like my daily life is filled with like, is like, is she going to freak out on me? And is she mad at me still for something that I did? Or am I mad at her for something she did? And then you're kind of stuck there, you're not even sure if the relationship is going to be ending or not. It's like it's not, nothing is strong. There's no trust, for example. That's the problem, right? Yeah, Catherine, it's true. We are who we associate with. And I read before that we are kind of a combination of who we hang around the most, right? So yeah, so living in a solution is staying out of the problem. Winners are always ready to reach their hands out to the newcomer. So they're, generous. They're willing to give back. They have sponsors and work with those sponsors. Winners stay clean just for today. So they work the daily program. That's true. Everybody in NA that have a lot of years never said that I'm going to focus on the whole year. I'll be clean the whole year. It's never like that. That's not what I do. As long as I stay clean just for today, but I do that tomorrow when I wake up because tomorrow will become today. This is how you stay clean. If you're going to, stay clean in the future, it's it's not there yet. So it's like it's wasted energy, wasted focus, I find. Winners are recovering addicts who keep a positive frame of mind. Very reported also. Being positive. We don't want to be around the Debbie Downer Debbies, how it's called. They may be going through troubled times, but they still attend meetings and share openly about it. So that's important because one thing I've noticed that everybody goes through stuff in one way or another, at different levels. Obviously, some people go through really hard shit, and some people go through medium shit, and some people go through light shit. But somebody's light shit might be your heavy shit, and somebody's heavy shit might be your light medium shit. So we can't really judge that. But one thing that I noticed, the constant, is that in NA, people who are overcoming that, they're coming to the meetings, they're sharing about it, and they're also sharing the emotion associated with it, and they start working on it. And the thing is, if you're an addict in recovery, if you have a problem, and then you do drugs to like not feel and fix that problem, whatever it is, you're just gonna have a problem and you're high. So problem's still there. And you got a bigger problem because if you're an addict, you can't stop doing drugs. So doing drugs is never the solution to fixing a problem. You can avoid it, but then as you avoid it, the problem gets bigger. So when you go back to it, it's even bigger, and you couldn't even fix the first problem. It made you go do drugs. So now the problem's even stronger, and you were not even strong enough to deal with it when it was smaller. So it's like a bad circle, like a vicious circle. But yeah, winners know in their hearts that with the help of a higher power, nothing will come along that is too much to handle. Winners strive for unity in their service efforts. Winners practice putting principles before personalities. So this means that if I'm going to be nice to my mom, I should also be nice to a stranger. I shouldn't put personalities before that. I should be nice to everybody equally. That's kind of what Jesus said, I guess. That's how I see it. That's one of the ways I see it. Winners remember the principle of anonymity, doing the principal action no matter who is involved. That's what I just said, kind of. Winners keep a sense of humor. Winners have the ability to laugh at themselves, so they don't take themselves too seriously. And when winners laugh, they laugh with you, not at you. That's important, right? It's like people. You see, if you see it online, right? You see these haters in the comments. There's not one hater that I saw, even ones who have like a lot of followers. Sometimes they hate and stuff, and they are very reactive to the haters responding to them. There's not one hater or people that do comments of hate that I would ever trade my life with. Not one. I wouldn't do that. So when you somebody who hates on you, it's like it's a bad feeling for them to hate. It's like they don't feel good doing it. So why would I just go to their level, right? Nobody was like ever like winners don't. You don't see winners doing like hate comments. They don't focus on that. They focus on being positive and focus on winning. So that's good. That's why I never really like put energy into talking shit in comments at all. Zero. You know, for me, it's like I like to post, reply to a few messages. Of course, yeah, I'm gonna see some weird and hateful comments, and but I don't focus on those. So you reply, I just reply a little bit at first, and then I'll leave the post there, almost like kind of forget about it, post and ghost. But I like to do a little bit of interaction just to connect with the people a little bit at the beginning. But yeah, winners they don't do hateful comments. So, and they're a bunch of it's pretty much they're a bunch of losers. So it's like, why would you give them a time of day? Do you care about what losers think about you? They're not going to support you. They're not going to buy your merchandise if you're selling stuff online, whatever it is, right? So don't focus on that. Focus on the winners. Winners have the ability to laugh themselves. They don't laugh at you, they laugh with you. Yeah, it is a reflection of them. It's like I explained to some person the other day. It's like when somebody tells you a negative comment, even if it's in person. That's why there's the four agreements. One of them is like the book I'm talking about. Don't take things personally, but the logically, what I told myself made it very simple and logical to me. Is that somebody sees my body, for example, they will see my body, and then the way they react to that, the way they respond to seeing my body, a stimulus, they see a stimulus, the way they will respond to that is based off all of their life's experiences and the filters through that, what went on in their lives, is that's then it's like everything will be combined with all their knowledge, all their experiences, all the filters of their trauma, all this stuff, and then at the end they see like my body, it triggers them, and then their reaction is based off all of that. Even your reaction when you're nice to like, even when you reply to somebody, it's kind of the same thing. But it's like if you have trauma, if you have all these experiences, but then you also have like therapy and work on yourself at the end of that, that's a final filter, you'll be able to like respond better than the person who doesn't have good filters. So it's like that's why it's like never about you. Somebody will give me the finger if they see me, or they will say like, "Hey, you're bald, whatever. You look dumb, like Mr. Clean or Mr. Potato Head, or whatever it is." Well, it's like my bald head triggered them to react like that. It's like the reason why they reacted like that is because maybe they are balding a little bit themselves, or whatever, or their ex, I don't know, boyfriend, or their dad was bald and bad relationship. It's like it's never like about just that person. It's always about them and their whole life and their whole baggage that they have behind them. Who are the winners in Narcotics Anonymous? Any one of us can be considered a winner. All of us exhibit some of the traits of the winner. Sometimes we come very close to the ideal, sometimes we don't. If we are clean today and working our program to the best of our ability, we are winners. So if you're doing your best today, you're pretty much winning, right? And sometimes your best is not the same best as yesterday. But as long as you're doing your best, we're good. You know? Just for today, I will strive to fulfill my ideals. Like strive doesn't mean like you're doing it. It means you're kind of trying it with good motivation, right? I will be a winner. That's good. That's good reading. Poof. All right, well, we got 7 viewers here. So if you guys have any questions about, so for those who just tuned in, I'm going to explain what the reading was about a little bit. I'll put it back on the screen if you guys want to just read it real quick. Oh, hi, Cecilia. How are you doing? So what I'm saying is, Yeah, so the reading is about how your surroundings can impact how you feel, how you are, where you're going, your habits, all that type of stuff. And obviously, you want to be around winners because if you're around losers, you're going to kind of like imitate them. It's like our brain, that's kind of what we do, right? We want to be part of. So if you're like about around like a bunch of like losers, people who talk shit, people who gossip, people who like do drugs, people who smoke cigarettes. You know what they said. It's a pretty good expression. You've all heard it before, but if you're hanging out long enough in a barbershop, you're gonna get a haircut. If you hang out with a bunch of cigarette smokers, chances are at some point, the chances are high you might try a cigarette. So this is how this is what it's about a little bit, right? And then it also talks about how you can be yourself a winner just by doing your best every day. You have ideals of what you should be and what you should do, and then you strive to achieve these things. So this is what the text is about. So, do you guys like? Do you have any friends around you that drag you down? They're not doing it by purpose. Sometimes they are by doing it by purpose, but do you have any people around you that maybe they're not the best for you, or Antoine talk about how to their life resolve their own negative beliefs. Antoine talk about how people determine their life based off their own negative beliefs. Well, let's say if you have a determined belief in your head that, um, for example, a guy needs to have all these nice cars and money and like sleep with a lot of girls to be cool. Well, that's kind of like a superficial, materialistic, negative thing. But if everybody around you shows you that for a long time, you might end up being like, hey, I guess I got to do that too. And then you'll try to emulate these guys that you think are successful on the outside, and then just start acting like that. And this can really have a negative impact on your life because you're not even being yourself for one, and also you're just installing like these shitty values from the people around you. Well, cars and money is it's cool, but it's like it shouldn't be everything, right? And your life can definitely go the wrong way based on like any belief, not even negative. Because for me, when I was younger and I started doing drugs, I started doing drugs just like to like have fun and connect with people, right? It's not a bad belief. And it just happened that when I did drugs and did that, I wouldn't feel the pain of my childhood trauma, of the void inside. I actually felt really freaking good. And then my brain got addicted because I kept doing it when I felt bad or when I want to feel better. And that really determined my life in the path that like, because I'm an addict, I pretty much lost everything. So your choices early on like can really like mold your whole life, and then it's kind of too late to just like get back on track easily. So you have to do some work. But this can be also good with anybody, right? Somebody, let's say you have a woman, and then she maybe had a bad relationship with her father, or the father wasn't there, or was just different and weird, had their own problems, addiction maybe. But then your choice of man, will maybe the bar is set low, so you'll set the bar low for yourself. So that's like not even conscious most of the time, but it's kind of hard to get out of there, you know. So that's another thing. It's like you just take some work, and then at some point you get out of there, and then you can see people are around you. But the thing is, if something happened here. One sec. Boop. Point. Sorry. But yeah, but if people around you are, if your people around you are just losers, it's going to be hard to just like get out of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, but is there people in the chat? Do you have any people in your life you feel like maybe are not good for you, but or if there's none, is there people in your life that are like, wow, these guys are really good, like, and then it's inspiring. And sometimes you'll have a person that inspires you in one area, but then they're not perfect, right? And the other areas are shit. Like, oh, this guy has like very successful business, but then he just like gets a bad divorce and cheat on his wife or whatever. It's like, oh, I want to be live with him like in business, but not with him in the relationship. This is why it says here in the text I just read. One sec. Yes, winners practice putting principles before personalities. Winners remember the principle of anonymity, doing the principal action no matter who is involved, doing the right thing no matter who it is, where are you, and in what area of your life you are. Because if you're a loyal person with your business, you're a loyal person with your employees, with your boss, you respect them, all this type of stuff, and then you go home and you're a jerk to everyone in your family, or you're not practicing the principle of anonymity, which is not like, oh, I want to be anonymous. It's like it said here, doing the right thing, the right action, no matter who's involved. So ideally for me, if I want to be the best Antoine that I can be, I'm gonna act nice to my wife. I'll be there for my kid, be nice to my kid. But then when my friends are there, I'm nice to my friends. I try to help them out too. I try to be there for you. Of course, my wife will get way better treatment than most people, obviously. But I'm not gonna be so different and completely the other way and screw my friends over, but not my wife. It's like you gotta apply your principles in all your affairs, your affairs. I don't mean like extramarital affairs here. I mean like all the different areas of your life. So you go to the grocery store. I hold the door for my wife. Well, I should be able to hold the door for a stranger too. That's an example. So these are things that are kind of easy to do in a sense. You kind of want to treat everybody equally, in a sense. Of course, like your kids should matter way more. But as far as manners, actions, the way you talk to people, you need to like be nice to everyone. And it's kind of hard to do sometimes because people come in your life and maybe at work you have to be around these people and you really don't like them because you don't like how they are, the way they act, their values. Well, the least you can do is just don't do anything. Just walk beside them when they're there and just do nothing, right? It's kind of awkward, I guess. But it's like sometimes that's the best thing to do, you know? But yeah, hey, that's about it. I know it's a short one, but if you guys have any questions, I can answer some. If not, I'm going to go and practice the principle of a good husband, I guess, to my wife and help her out with the bath. But yeah, any questions, anyone? Coca-Cola diet. It's a Coke Zero. I did a short one because last time I read Bill's story. It was a long story. 16 pages of the big book written in Old English. And if you guys want to see all my other live streams, they're all on my channel. I got a bunch now. I got like, I don't know, I'll check later, but I have a bunch. So it's I kept doing it, you know. It could turn out sometimes. Sometimes it's more intimate, like today, which is good. That's good too. It's always something good in everything. Shout out to Catherine for showing up when she can, supporting. She has a poetical alchemy. She has a TikTok, and she's a good writer, so she has like these nice little poems about um, all kinds of things. I think it's about like mental health and things like that, way to see things, and maybe there's some wisdom in there. You can check it out. Political Alchemy. I also train her at the gym. Her and her daughter, Cecilia. But yeah, if you guys have any question, now the last 2 minutes is going to be for the questions. And if you don't, well, it means everybody's doing well, which is good. It's what I want. Shout out to Victor. Shout out to Cecilia and Catherine and the other 3 viewers. I'm glad you guys are doing good. And on that note, I think we are done. So I will wish each and every one of you a good time, a good night. And the holidays are coming up, right? It's hard for some people. It's hard for some people to be around the holidays. You know, people drink, people sometimes have lost people during the holidays. That's always a big one. If you lost somebody close to you in the holidays, and then every year you're going to be remembered of your loss. And it's not going to be as jolly and merry as some other people's Christmases and holidays. I lost my friend, 2014. Christmas Eve was found dead, overdose, but it's good because he told me to stop doing drugs and get my life together, and this is when my willingness to stop started. It started January 9th, 2015. Told myself I would stop. I didn't stop right away, because obviously if I didn't have a problem, I would have just stopped right there and there and never did it again. But I couldn't stop. So that's another story for another time, maybe. But yeah, maybe another time I could do a whole breakdown of my progression of addiction, and then how I got out. But not tonight. Tonight's good times. And it always ends in a good story anyway, because I'm here helping people out. So it's a good ending for today. And tomorrow too, God willing. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. And if you're struggling, or you know someone who's struggling, reach out to them. Or if you're struggling yourself, please reach out. You don't have to stay, alone. There's people like me that want to help people all across the world. People are mostly nice. I don't know if you've been noticed that. People are mostly nice. If you talk to them and you create conversation, most of the people you will encounter in your life, maybe 90%, are nice people, and they would help you. 90%, that's good odds. Don't be fooled by what Instagram is showing you. It's showing you only the worst stuff sometimes, right? Especially if you start clicking on it, the algorithm will get you. This is not real world. Real world is filled with nice old-timey people, nice couples, people want to help people, people going through their own stuff, obviously. And there's some dicks and assholes in the world, obviously. But we don't focus on that. We focus on the positive. So let's do that tonight. Thank you, and have a nice night.